class. So today you're here to learn about the eye and some of the things that the eye can do. Thank you for joining me. So, before we get started, I just want to make sure everybody's here. Yes, you're all smartly dressed and ready to learn. Excellent. So, shall we get started with some ocular anatomy? So, as you can see, we have a picture of the eye here. This is the human eye. And does anybody know how long the eye is? So, thinking about the actual length of the eye, we are looking at around 22.22 millimeters. As you know, the eye is a very complex organ. It is well protected by the sclera, which is the white structure around the eye. And the middle layer is known as the choroid. This is the vascular layer of the eye. And what I like to call the magical part of the eye, the retina. So this is located within the eye. It's the inner layer. And the retina contains lots of photoreceptors. And these photoreceptors capture light energy, convert it to chemical energy, and then send the message to the brain so that we can see via the optic nerve, cranial nerve number 2. Excellent. So, staying within the retina, we have the macula here. The macula has a high concentration of cone receptors, a specific type of photoreceptor, the cones. And as we migrate away from the macula to the peripheral retina, this is where you find your highest concentration of rods, a photoreceptor known as rods, responsible mainly for night vision. The cones are mostly associated with daytime vision and fine colour. And there is the optic nerve, where all the retinal nerve fibres migrate to, and you have a bundle of them here, and they travel off to the brain to process the information, allowing us to see. So the eye is merely a window. It is the brain that allows you to see. Okay, everybody clear so far? Excellent. So at the front of the eye, the window itself is the cornea. And then we have the anterior chamber, the space between the anterior iris and the posterior cornea. And it contains aqueous humour, which is produced by the ciliary body. The sclera itself is covered by the conjunctiva, a very thin membrane, and part of the eye which controls the amount of light that can reach the back of the eye is the iris, the coloured part of the eye. And behind the iris we have the crystalline lens, located in the posterior chamber. And the crystalline lens can allow us to see by changing its focus. So, going even more posterior, we have the vitreous humour, which is like a jelly, contained all in this part of the eye. So that will maintain the shape of the eye. Obviously you have your blood vessels, delivering nutrients to the eye, and your veins, which essentially drain blood from the eye. The central retinal artery coming through the optic nerve and supplying the eye with oxygen and nutrients. Excellent. Any questions so far? Okay. So when thinking about testing the eye, one of the tests we can perform is the pressure. So there are lots of devices for checking eye pressure, but the one I want to show you all today is the eye care tonometer. So this is a form of contact tonometry. Turn the machine on here, and we can rest against the patient and press the button, and the little probe just gently flicks the eye and we can check the pressure. So that is the eye care tonometer. So turn it off. So I'll pass it on and have a look around. There we go. So when thinking about looking in the eye, we can use the ophthalmoscope, which is an illuminated viewing device just for looking inside the eye. Take the protective cap off, and the ophthalmoscope has some filters. We have a focusing wheel, and we have the illumination wheel. Can you all see that? And it's sturdy but fairly lightweight. This particular model is battery powered. So have a little play around with the ophthalmoscope, see what you think. Please don't damage it. And if we want to achieve a stereoscopic view of the back of the eye, we can use a special lens called a Volk lens. Can everybody see the Volk lens? This is a high-powered 60 diopter lens, double aspheric, and we can use the Volk lens in conjunction with this slit lamp to look at the back of the eye. Can you all see the Volk lens? These are very expensive, so please take care when you're having a look at this lens. Try not to touch the lenses. There we go, have a look at that for me. So, yes, we also have the retinoscope, which we use for checking prescriptions. Again, we have a battery powered device, a lithium ion battery there, which can be charged each and every day. Again, we have, like the ophthalmoscope, a illumination wheel, changing the brightness level. We have a sort of condenser here. And we can rotate the orientation of the beam. And this particular model is a streak retinoscope. Streak. S-T-R-E-A-K. This one isn't charged at the moment, but when we do turn it on, we can look through the viewing system. And try and determine the prescription using the trial lenses. Okay, so if you all want to have a look at that for me, pass it around. And to further check the prescription, I've brought some lenses to show you. This is the plus and minus 025 flipper lens set. So we have two plus 025 lenses and two minus 025 lenses. And we can adjust the separation depending on somebody's PD. We have a little scale there. Can you all see that? The flipper lens. And we can present to the patient either with the lens or without. With or without. Either with lens set 1 or lens set 2. 1 or 2 clearer. There we go. And when we've finished checking the spherical element, we can check to see if somebody has astigmatism by using the Jackson cross cylinder, for example. So we can check the axis of the astigmatism with the clearer with lens 1 or 2, lens 1 or lens 2. And for the power, we can line up the lines there with the direction of the astigmatism, and we can ask the patient, is it clearer with lens 1 or lens 2? with lens 1 or lens 2. So that is the Jackson cross cylinder lens. So we have two different power meridians there, minus 0.25 and plus 0.25. Have a look at that for me. Be careful. And I've also brought for you today some vision charts to have a look at. I'm sure as the term progresses we'll be performing some more tests demonstrating how these work, but we have the vision chart. Can everybody see this distance Steicar vision chart? Bigger to smaller, and we can record somebody's visual acuity. Also have another one here. Okay. There we go. Have a look at those. We also have a near vision chart here. And this one comes equipped with an Amsler chart. We have the print going from largest to smallest there. So your patient can hold the test chart where they like to read, and you can measure their working distance and then record the vision, one eye at a time. That's the near vision chart there. We also have this more complex one, in case anybody likes to read music, crosswords for example. We have recipes and just some of the general small print you may see in circulation. So I'll let you have a look at that. There you go. And just finally, when checking the health of the eye, we also have this special grading scale, checking things like the redness of the eye, the conjunctiva and the limbus. We can check for any unwanted blood vessels growing into the cornea. We can use some fluorescein dye to check for eye staining, and we can certainly have a look under the eyelids and check the redness there. Okay. And part of your assessment will include looking at the patient's lids and lashes. Here we may find conditions such as blepharitis, which is inflammation of the lids. A common problem is blocked glands, blocked meibomian glands here. And we have some more complex corneal issues here. Don't worry too much about those. Look at that, and I will leave you all to mull over the notes, and we will probably do a brief test and some of the things we've spoken about today. So I hope you've all enjoyed the lesson. Thank you for behaving, and I will see you next week.